If you're a new driver, a lease purchase program probably sounds like the ultimate dream, right? The fast track to owning your own truck, being your own boss. But what if that dream is really a fast track to a financial nightmare? We're gonna break it all down, the promises, the ugly truth, and a totally different path you've probably never even thought of.
So this is the big question, isn't it? The one every rookie driver is wrestling with. You see the ads, you hear the recruiters, and man, it sounds amazing. A clear shot at owning your own rig without some huge down payment. But then you talk to the veteran drivers, and they call it a fleece agreement. So what's the real story here? Let's dig in.
All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. According to drivers who've been there and done that, the failure rate for these programs can hit a jaw-dropping 95% in a tough year. 95. That means out of 20 drivers who sign on the dotted line, 19 of them might walk away with nothing but a mountain of debt. The real question is, how is that even possible?
To really get that 95% number, we've got to look inside what a lot of drivers call the lease purchase trap. It's this whole system built on these really appealing promises that, well, they just don't hold up against the reality of life on the road.
It's the classic bait and switch. On one side, they sell you this dream: be your own boss. But in reality, the carrier still calls all the shots. Your loads, your rates. They say it's a clear path to ownership, but it's often a maze of hidden fees and contract traps designed to make it almost impossible.
Let's look at a real-world example drivers talk about a lot: PAM Transport. The word on the street is their lease operators are getting paid around $1 a mile. I mean, that is incredibly low. You can actually end up making less than a regular company driver. And here's the real kicker. Some drivers say they have to pay $2,000 just to break their training contract to get into the lease program. You're literally paying them for the privilege of taking on all their risk. It's wild.
Okay, so the pay is low, but believe me, the financial pressure doesn't stop there. The cost of just keeping that truck rolling, that's where this trap really starts to squeeze you.
Look at this number, $400 to $700. That's your weekly lease payment. And that's not for your fuel or your insurance, that's just for the truck itself. And guess what? You owe that money every single week. Doesn't matter if you're hauling a load or if you're broken down on the side of I-80. That debt never, ever sleeps.
And this quote right here from a driver, man, this just says it all. It perfectly captures one of the most maddening parts of the job: unpaid labor. He spent almost a whole day, up to 11 hours, just chasing an empty trailer because the company's GPS system was garbage. And for all that time, all that fuel, all those miles, he got paid absolutely nothing. So let's just quickly sum up this daily grind. You're often leased a truck that already has hundreds of thousands of miles on it, so you're on the hook for those big, expensive repairs. We just talked about all the unpaid labor. Then you throw in the isolation of dealing with so-called mentors who are just there to collect a check, and top it all off with that constant, crushing debt. You can see why it's a recipe for disaster.
You know, one driver called the industry naked savagery, and in that kind of environment, just trying to survive isn't a great plan. So what's the alternative? Well, it all starts with a huge shift in how you think. Instead of pouring all your money and effort into a piece of metal that's losing value every day, what if you could build a completely different kind of asset?
This slide really lays out the two different philosophies. On the left, you've got your traditional trucking. You're trading your time for money. Simple as that. It's a manual hustle with a ton of financial risk. But on the right, you have digital systems. The goal here is totally different. It's not about trading hours for dollars. It's about building an asset, like an online system, that works for you and can make you money even while you're sleeping.
So what does one of these digital systems even look like? Well, the source material we looked at points to one specific example that's like the polar opposite of the high-cost trucking world. It's a system called Affiliate Mentor Spark, and it's all built around a simple, one-time $25 entry fee.
$25, one time. Just let that sink in for a second. Compare that single one-time payment to the $400 to $700 you'd owe every single week for a truck lease. I mean, the difference in financial risk is it's night and day. So what does $25 actually get you? Well, from what we've seen, it's basically a business in a box. It's a pre-built system that uses AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting, like finding leads and sending automated follow-ups. The whole idea is to get rid of the technical headaches and let the system work for you.
Now, the engine running this whole thing is something called a 2x2 matrix. Let's make that super simple. You join, and you get a little chart with 6 empty spots. Your goal is to fill those 6 spots. Once they're filled, boom, you complete what's called a cycle, and you earn a $50 commission. Then the system just automatically gives you a brand new, empty matrix to do it all over again.
Now here's the really cool part. It's not all on you to fill those 6 spots. That's the key. They can get filled from what's called spillover, from the person who signed you up, from people on your team, or even from the system's own AI. The whole thing is designed so you're not out there all alone trying to make it work.
Okay, so we've laid out 2 totally different paths. You've got the high-risk, high-stress physical business on one hand, and a low-risk, automated digital system on the other. Let's put them head-to-head and see the reality of the choice you're actually making.
This chart just breaks it all down, plain and simple. Entry cost for a lease could be thousands. For this system, $25 one time with a money-back guarantee. The weekly risk, hundreds of dollars versus zero. Your income is based on trading miles for money versus an automated system building assets for you. And the failure rate, a scary 95% versus a full month to try it out, totally risk-free. The numbers really do speak for themselves.
Now, let's be 100% real about the money side of things, because transparency is everything. While you might see some flashy marketing out there, the company's official income disclosure is very clear. The average person makes between $300 and $1,800 a year. This is not a get-rich-quick button. As they say, your results are going to be tied directly to your own effort.
So here's the bottom line. Your CDL is incredibly valuable. It's a commodity. But in an industry as crazy and unpredictable as trucking, should it be your only tool for financial survival? Or does it make more sense to use that downtime on the road to build a low-risk, automated safety net for yourself? That, right there, is a question every single driver should be asking.